Aaron Carter's mom has made a pretty remarkable decision. She has decided she wants the world to see the death scene, where the bathroom where Aaron was found dead. And the reason for this is she is calling out the police and feels like they did not do a proper investigation here, because she is certainly insinuating that there may have been foul play involved in Aaron Carter's death.
And yes, of course, I faced a lot of struggles, and you know, I had lots of times where drugs and things like that were presented to me, and if, you know, I dabbled in those kind of things, you know, and I partook in it, and it got me into a lot of trouble, and, you know, had to start figuring things out.
Getting involved in
I didn't have a choice. It got bad when I was about 15 years old, because when I did MTV Cribs.
I think maybe when you get a little older, you mellow out a little bit, be a little more like him.
No, I don't think so. I think I'm just going to get worse.
When a young celebrity dies suddenly, we grieve briefly, then move on. The headlines follow a familiar script: overdose, depression, another Hollywood tragedy. But what if this wasn't just another sad story? What if it was a warning? Aaron Carter was only 34 when he was found lifeless in his bathtub. At first, it looked like another case of a troubled star gone too soon. But the deeper you dig, the more it feels like a cover-up, not a coincidence. And now, attention is shifting towards someone unexpected: Sean "Diddy" Combs.
Morning at the age of 34. TMZ released an exclusive saying Aaron Carter was found dead Saturday at his house in Lancaster, California. Multiple sources tell us Aaron's body was found in his bathtub. Law enforcement sources tell TMZ they received a 911 call at 11 a.m. Saturday that a male had drowned in the tub. They don't know if it was homicide or what exactly the cause was, other than the fact that he was found in the tub. It's also always really sad to hear, knowing that someone struggled with substance. Aaron Carter did. Not to mention he had a son named Prince, and I don't even think he's a year old yet, or he's right around a year, so very young. It's just heartbreaking overall. My thoughts and prayers go out to Aaron's family.
TMZ has obtained excerpts from the 911 calls from people expressing concerns about singer Aaron Carter, who was found dead in his home on Saturday.
About Aaron, I was just calling to see if there's any way you guys could send an officer to go check in on him. The thing is, he's a very heavy drug user, and he's inhaling computer duster, and he was doing it all night.
Has Aaron made statements since you last spoke to him about potentially hurting himself or committing or anything?
He hasn't made statements about hurting himself, but he's made statements about, like, hurting other people.
And members of the Backstreet Boys rallied around Carter's brother Nick during that band's concert tonight in London. Singer Kevin Richardson there in the band that was playing with heavy hearts as other members walked over from time to time to give Aaron's brother's older brother Nick and bandmate Nick a hug. 34-year-old Aaron Carter was found unresponsive in his bathtub at his Lancaster home yesterday. The former singer and teen heartthrob struggled with addiction and other issues over the years. The cause, though, of his death has yet to...
She never believed her son's death was accidental. Instead, she took matters into her own hands, leaking graphic, never-before-seen crime scene photos to TMZ along with a chilling message: "This doesn't add up." She claims the police rushed the investigation and ignored critical evidence that suggests her son may have been murdered. Now, with federal authorities reportedly taking interest, the case is gaining new traction. But this is where things take a darker, more twisted turn.
Us through what troubles you about that scene, about the things that you saw in the photograph, and the things that you've heard happened in the house.
Oh, well, the first day, I got a call. The first thing, I got a call from my daughter, Angel, and she said that Aaron was found in the pool. So then I found out later that he was found in a tub, and the stories just kind of kept changing. But I was very concerned because, he had obviously had a lot of people that were harassing him on the internet.
So are you suggesting that somebody may have done him harm? Somebody who was going after him online?
Oh, absolutely.
What is the theory that you think may have happened?
The Lancaster Police Department was there many, many times on welfare checks, sent there by different people. And, the night that he died, Melanie said that there was a welfare check. And there was obviously not a welfare check. The lady Betty, that was the housekeeper, said he was fine, and nobody actually really checked on Aaron.
So you're positive the police did not come earlier in the night?
They did, but they didn't actually see him.
We should say, just for the record so people know, Betty has never been in any way named as even a person of interest or anything like that. So I get this is your personal opinion on it. And if it's drugs, that would surface in the toxicology results. So you're going to know something.
This is the thing that I don't like, okay? I'm looking at those photos. Obviously, people were able to go into that home, his home, and see that. Look at that tub, okay? Look how full that tub is. All right? If you put a body in there and it gets that green or whatever, you put a body in there and don't you think there'd be some water on the outside when you pull it out and you're supposedly doing CPR? I mean, that overfull tub, in my opinion. So I think there's a lot of suspicious. Hey, I know he was an addict, okay? I know that he had his issues. I do think that Aaron did not want to die. He had no intention of dying. And I don't think that he would be doing that much of that aerosol. It's like overkill.
We're getting a look at disturbing, never-before-seen photos of the bathroom where singer Aaron Carter was found dead last year. Carter's mother, Jane Schneck, posted the photos to her personal Facebook page on Wednesday, writing, quote, "Still trying to get a real investigation for the death of my son, Aaron Carter." On November 5th of last year, 34-year-old Carter was found dead in the bathtub of his Lancaster, California home. According to posts by his mother, quote, "The coroner wrote it off as an accidental drug overdose. They never investigated it as a possible crime scene because of his addiction past." One of the photos shows the bathtub where Carter was found filled with green water. Another shows what appears to be feces smeared across the bathroom floor. A towel and some clothing items can also be seen on the floor in the photos. In one social media post, Carter's mother writes, quote, "Why are the towels perfectly placed?" In others, she alleges Carter received multiple death threats before he died, saying many people were making his life miserable. She also calls on true crime host Nancy Grace for help in the investigation. And in her most recent post, Carter's mother writes, quote, "We want answers. We want justice. There are people who must be held accountable." She again writes that Lancaster, California investigators dismissed an investigation because of Carter's, quote, "mental illness and prescription drug issues." Following Carter's death, an autopsy was performed, but an official cause of death has not yet been released. Reporting for Law and Crime Network, I'm Sierra Gillespie.
Rumors are now swirling that Aaron Carter's death may be directly linked to Diddy, and while that might sound far-fetched at first, there's more beneath the surface. According to sources, Diddy's longtime rival, 50 Cent, allegedly handed over exclusive footage of Aaron to federal agents. The contents of that video remain under wraps, but insiders claim it's powerful enough to leave Diddy panicked, and possibly even facing prison.
So what was on that tape? What did Aaron know? And was he preparing to expose it?
Here's the part they don't want you to remember. Aaron Carter repeatedly insisted he would never take his own life.
People. I would never kill myself. I love my life. What's wrong with you people?
Aaron Carter is dead at the age of just 34 years old, and we've actually learned a little bit more into his final moments and what cops found at the scene. So as you know, Aaron's been struggling with substance for a few years now, and cops actually found evidence of that at the death scene. They found cans of compressed air and prescription pills in both his bathroom and his bedroom. We know the last time anyone saw Aaron alive was about 2 a.m. on Friday when there was a welfare check made to his home. Police responded, and his housekeeper actually let them inside, but when Aaron found out what was going on, he got really upset with the housekeeper, told the police to leave, and told his housekeeper to stay in her room. We're told she had no contact with him all day Friday, and then Saturday morning she felt that something was off. She knocked on his door to get him his coffee, she heard his dogs going crazy, and that's when she made her way inside. The law enforcement sources told us they believe that Aaron's body was in the tub for quite a while. We're told the color of the water was unnatural and there was a smell of decomposition inside the home. Not only that, the jets were still running in his tub when he was found. So Aaron's really grown a social media following, especially on his live streams, and it was back in September when fans called for a welfare check at his home after they believed he was huffing compressed air canisters during a live broadcast. And during another recent live, he read a text message out loud that he got from his fiancée, Melanie.
She just told me you're going to die. Wow.
So as of now, his cause of death has been deferred by the LA County Coroner's Office, pending toxicology results, which could take up to months. Of course,
In the final weeks before his death, Aaron Carter was becoming increasingly vocal about the dark side of the entertainment industry. He openly criticized the way he had been treated, revealing that even at the young age of 15, he had been exploited and manipulated. He also began to hint that he had witnessed and experienced far more disturbing things behind the scenes. Aaron Carter spoke publicly about being sexually abused by his sister Leslie during his childhood. He also alluded to deeply troubling encounters involving powerful figures within elite Hollywood circles. Most chillingly, he was allegedly linked to the same secretive parties that are now under investigation in connection with Diddy, gatherings reportedly marked by abuse, manipulation, and exploitation.
The toughest thing to deal with.
Aaron Carter dropping a major bombshell on Thursday, alleging on Twitter that his late sister Leslie, who died in 2012, abused him when he was a child. In a series of tweets, the singer explained, quote, "My sister from the age of 10 to 13 years old when she wasn't on her medications." He also alleged, "I was only by her, but by my first two backup dancers when I was 8 years old, and my brother abused me my whole life." ET has reached out to Nick Carter for comment. Aaron claims the question came as a result of his late sister Leslie's mental health issues. He says she suffered from bipolar disorder and took lithium to treat it, claiming that when she was not on her meds, she did things that she never meant to do. As a result, Aaron says he spent the last 15 years of his life going to therapy. He says he's had ups and downs and will continue working on his mental health. Aaron also points out that even though he's been through extensive therapy, he's never been diagnosed bipolar or schizophrenic, even though he said he'd been diagnosed with the disorders on the doctors.
I suffer from multiple personality disorders, schizophrenia, acute anxiety, a manic depressive.
Aaron's claims of abuse days after Nick got a restraining order against him. According to court docs obtained by ET, Nick was issued a temporary order for himself, his wife Lauren, son Odin, and mother and father-in-law, which states Aaron must stay 100 feet away from them. In a tweet, Aaron denied wanting to hurt anyone, especially his family.
It hurts so bad because there's nothing I can do about it.
Some theories suggest Aaron's death could have been orchestrated by his own family. Aaron's relationship with his family was far from stable. He had restraining orders against multiple relatives. His siblings tried to put him under a conservatorship, a move that Aaron fiercely opposed. Now, some are questioning whether his own family might have been complicit, knowingly or not, in silencing him. Oh, here's a chilling thought. Was Aaron trapped between a toxic family and a dangerous industry, with no one?
Some theories suggest that Aaron Carter's death may not have been accidental but possibly orchestrated, even by those closest to him. His relationship with his family was deeply strained. He had filed restraining orders against multiple relatives, and his siblings attempted to place him under a conservatorship, something Aaron strongly resisted. Now, questions are surfacing about whether his family may have played a role, knowingly or unknowingly, in silencing him. Here's a chilling thought. Was Aaron Carter caught between a toxic family and a dangerous industry, with no one truly on his side?
Carter tragically passed away at age 34, and there's only two people to blame, and those are his parents. Aaron Carter was a massive success in the late 1990s, selling 4.5 million albums in the United States and 10 million globally. Off of concerts, albums, and merchandise, his estate made over $50 million. But the money was sadly spent by Aaron Carter's parents, Robert and Jane, who lived a luxurious lifestyle on their son's work. And Aaron Carter's parents personally broke the law, not putting money into his Coogan account. Coogan accounts are required by law in the state of California that state that 15% of an actor's income has to go to a savings account for when they're 18. This law was established in 1939 after child actor Jackie Coogan's parents stole all of his money. Jackie Coogan was broke as an adult until he played Uncle Fester in the original Addams Family. For Aaron Carter, his parents weren't paying properly into the Coogan account. He ended up with $2 million when he should have had $20 million. $2 million sounds good, but his parents actually put him $3.5 million in debt to the IRS because they didn't pay taxes on his earnings. So Aaron Carter ended up filing for bankruptcy and still publicly forgave his parents. And Aaron Carter ended up broke doing adult work on OnlyFans to pay rent. Now he was found overdosed in a bathtub thanks to mom and dad. With that, I'm Charles Peral. I hope you learned something.
Hey everybody out there, this is Aaron Carter. I want to verify that this is actually my GoFundMe page. There's been a lot of misdirection that I've had to do in order to protect myself from being a silence breaker for my brother who is a... And now they're after my life. My whole family is after my life. And they're setting me up. And Sony Records owes me $3.5 million, and they don't want to pay me, and it would be in their better interest, just like Michael told me. And Brad Paisley, who sued Sony Records for $10 million. They owe me money, and they're trying to kill me off. And I'm begging you, and I'm pleading you, help me raise $100,000 as soon as I can, so I can move to an undisclosed location where I am safe. My realtor won't sell my house. They're all involved in this, and they're trying to keep me there. They had cops come and check for a rope in my garage.
Aaron Carter believes that his family wants him in a conservatorship, and that is why he broke up with his fiancée, Melanie Martin. We just broke this story. Pretty insane. So Aaron Carter broke up with his fiancée, Melanie, only a week after they gave birth to his first son, Prince Lyric Carter. I spoke to Aaron Carter, and he told me that the reason why he broke up with her was because he learned that Melanie was in contact with his twin sister, Angel, who he is estranged from. In 2019, she got a restraining order against him, saying that he threatened to send men to her door, and she wanted to break all ties with him. Aaron believes that Angel and the rest of his family are in contact with Melanie, not to be nice and try to patch things up, but he believes to gather information and ultimately put him in a conservatorship. However, I also spoke to Melanie, who said that she doesn't believe they want him in a conservatorship because they never asked her for any kind of information. Aaron is also estranged from his brother Nick Carter and Nick's wife Lauren, and we're told that sources close to Nick are saying that he doesn't want to put Aaron under a conservatorship. In fact, he wants nothing to do with Aaron at all. So any claims about that is totally bogus. And in fact, both Nick and Lauren have not even spoken to Melanie. We have reached out to Angel, and so far, no word back. Do you guys think Aaron should patch things up with his ex, Melanie, in light of her just giving birth? Do you think that he will eventually patch things up with his estranged?
Things take an eerie turn, and circle back to Diddy. When you consider a chilling detail, Aaron Carter died just one day after Diddy's birthday. A coincidence? Maybe. But to conspiracy theorists, it's a red flag, even a coded message. They believe Aaron was silenced because he was on the verge of revealing explosive truths about Diddy, the entertainment industry, and the dark realities that unfold behind closed doors.
And going to school, and I'm the only one in the family who I didn't even see a day of high school. I didn't see proms. I didn't see any of that stuff. Maybe I'm a stronger person today because of it. You know, I don't have a lot of memories as a child. It was a lot of repetitious, monotonous things happening. So it was really hard for me to recollect anything when it's always the Groundhog's Day. I had been touring nonstop since I was like 7 years old. I hadn't taken a break, you know, so it was almost like 10 years that I had not stopped working for my family. And my brother was 8 years older than me. So no disrespect to my brother, but when Nick was 18 years old and I was 10 years old, I was kind of just starting to make lots of money, you know, and I made over $200 million in my career before I even...
In his final days, Aaron Carter reportedly attempted to reach out to Kanye West, who was already making headlines for exposing what he described as the manipulation and control mechanisms within the celebrity world. At the time, Kanye had publicly called out his former trainer, Harley Pasternak, accusing him of threatening to drug and institutionalize him if he didn't comply, claims that echoed the tactics often associated with psychological control and coercion. After Aaron's death, Kanye suggested it was orchestrated, subtly connecting it to a broader network involving Harley, alleged MKUltra style tactics, and even Jay-Z, who, notably, has long-standing ties with Diddy. Was Aaron trying to align with Kanye in a last-ditch effort to share his truth? Was he preparing to expose a system of abuse and control before it was too late? The timing and the connections have left many asking, What exactly was Aaron Carter about to reveal?
Passed away, he actually said on Twitter, "Yo, Kanye, let's talk man to man." And this was still during the same time that Kanye was being very publicly spoken about what was happening in Hollywood. And then recently, Kanye did an IG Live a couple months ago and literally said exactly what happened to Aaron Carter.
They follow me to tell kill Aaron Carter, and now they acting like they won't clear the Backstreet Boys sample. You get what I'm saying? Harley Pasternak Pusher, your trainer, Harley Pasternak.
Jay-Z, now the rabbit hole gets even deeper. Aaron Carter's name joins a chilling list of individuals connected to the inner circles of the music industry who either died under mysterious circumstances or came dangerously close to exposing the truth. Take Kim Porter, the mother of Diddy's children. She died suddenly, with lingering questions surrounding the cause. Then there's Uncle Ron, a former bodyguard who publicly accused Diddy of silencing whistleblowers. And now Aaron Carter, who may have known too much. All of them share a disturbing common thread. They either spoke out, tried to, or were rumored to be on the verge of revealing damaging secrets. Federal investigators are now reportedly probing claims that Diddy may have used poison or other covert means to silence those who got too close. As for Aaron, some believe he may have been the latest in a pattern, not just a tragedy, but a warning.
You know, just like Kim, just like Brittany Murphy. That pneumonia ain't no joke. Hey, every time somebody get to telling the truth about someone, whoever's been lying, they just say a little prayer and then the pneumonia comes.
Real life. It ain't real life.
It ain't real life. Just ain't. Real life street star. You know what time it is.
Oh no, it's all good. But Uncle Ron, Beyonce's ex-bodyguard, who threatened to expose them. Yeah, threatened to expose them. I believe in 2023. Is deceased. He's passed away.
Allegedly, that's what they are saying.
Allegedly, that is what they are saying. What are your thoughts on that?
Well, they said he died from that pneumonia.
Yes.
You know, just like Kim, just like Brittany Murphy. That pneumonia ain't no joke. Hey, every time somebody get to telling the truth about someone, whoever's been lying, they just say a little prayer and then the pneumonia comes, and then yeah. A lot of people been getting that pneumonia. I'm surprised they didn't try to say that Liam got that pneumonia, but you know, he went over that balcony. But the thing is, they say he went on his own. But there's two other things that I had considered as I speculate. And this is all my speculation. None of this is true yet. But what if somebody told him he had to jump off?
Man.
What if he would have rather jumped and be pow-powed?
Right.
You know? Or maybe imminent danger was there. And
it's
that
alleged
was
that
only escape.
Right. It's alleged that he had Tootsie.
Oh no, that's not alleged. That is a fact. There, Rook. It was found in his system in his autopsy. That's not alleged.
That's crazy.
The Tootsie, did you? Yep.
Jack, Liam Payne, his fall. There's a lot of alleged things they're saying that
At
happened.
multiple levels, his fall.
There's a lot of speculations.
Personal life.
Right.
Health.
What is his ties to Diddy?
I mean, all of those kids from that era, even the British bands, they all partied with Diddy. it's hard for me to truly get invested in what's happening to Liam Payne right now because I haven't gotten over what happened to Nick. Nick's brother, Aaron Carter.
Right.
A lot of people keep forgetting Aaron Carter was begging for help, begging for independent financing, begging for security. He made it very clear Sony was out to get him, just like Michael Jackson told him they would be. And right around that time, his brother had just been accused of raping one of the girls from making the band, Diddy's entity. And they were trying to make all of that go away. And Aaron called his brother out. And then the next thing you know, he said, if anything happens to me, I did not do this to myself. And then he was gone, and they said he took his own life, just like they're saying about Liam Payne. Why doesn't anyone want to see the same thing happen over and over and over again? Because if Diddy is responsible.
Before his death, Aaron Carter wasn't silent. He was crying out again and again. But few truly listened. He opened up publicly about his struggles with mental health, sharing diagnoses such as schizophrenia, bipolar disorder, acute anxiety, and dissociative identity disorder. Instead of compassion, he was often met with ridicule. Social media turned him into a meme, mocking his behavior while ignoring the very real pain behind it. In live streams and interviews, Aaron spoke with raw honesty about being bullied by the public, harassed by relentless online trolls, and betrayed by the people who were supposed to protect him, his own family. What the world saw as erratic or unstable was, in many ways, a man fighting for his life in plain sight. And yet, his cries for help were drowned out by judgment, laughter, and silence.